Good morning, guys. It is I, John, in the studio with my cup of coffee. And this morning I'd like to do another excerpt from Signs Along the Path, which is available this week alone for 30% off the Kindle version with the link in the description below. This morning's passage or excerpt is from a post called Optimistic Creation. And this was written on easily the early 2000s. It really talks about how people look at our world and think of themselves oftentimes in victim mode. And when they're in victim mode, they're creating from a negative point of view, not a pessimistic point of view, rather than an optimistic point of view. And this post is all about creating optimistically, creating something joyful and loving into your life. And so let's just jump right in. As the quote above says, we are the architect of our lives. The way we create is through our faith, words, and actions. Many times people have asked me how they can create a life of their dreams. All people really want the same things out of life: happiness, financial security, love, health, a nice home to live in. They look at their current situation and decide they're not where they would like to be. I tell them about what I call optimistic creation. Focusing on the negative aspects of life and what you don't want will only create the experience rushing into your life, because that is your focus. When creating a positive future, you have to be in an optimistic state. Mother Teresa said, I was once asked why I don't participate in anti-war demonstrations. I said that I will never do that, but as soon as you have a pro-peace rally, I'll be there. Consciously staying in the positive mindset can be a daunting challenge. People tell me they had a hard time doing it. I ask them if they meditate. Most of them tell me no. The majority of the people in the world don't believe they can meditate. They believe this for one very specific reason. When people try to meditate, they quiet their minds and then something happens. What happens is the events of the day begin to creep into their thoughts. The thoughts creep in and they realize it and shift back to being quiet. Then it happens again and again. They shift back to the quiet mind. When it happens the third time, they usually decide they can't meditate. The people who become really good meditators are the people who continually release their thoughts and go back to being quiet until the quiet times last longer. It is the same with optimistic creation. When you find yourself creating any other way than positively, just recognize it and move back into consciously creating a positive outcome until the positive thoughts last longer and you realize the life you have chosen. The interesting thing is that the reason we tend to create that the way we do is we are unconsciously creating from our past experiences. When we shift into optimistic creation, we are creating a trail of positivity behind us, and so it only gets easier and easier. 2 months down the road, you now have 2 months of positive past to begin unconsciously creating from. Joshua said, you must be born again. I believe he was saying, set down your past and be born into a new life. You can do so without unconsciously creating more of the same negative experiences. The key to it all is not meeting a negative with a negative. When the negative thoughts invade your positive ones, recognize that it happened and shift back. Do not beat yourself up with self-defeating thoughts. In fact, if you are the creator of your experience and you slip into creating anything but a positive outcome, think of it as a silly occurrence. Recognize it as silly and laugh it off, and switch back until the entire life is joyful, fun, and prosperous. I look forward to witnessing the world you create. The simplicity of creation is literally a matter of thought. Our beliefs are creating our experiences. But we get to choose whether those beliefs are positive or negative. We get to choose whether we have lived a life in the past that we want to continue to do in the future, or whether we want to change that past and say, I'm no longer living that life in that way and living as a victim of experience. Right here in the now, you get to choose. The Bible also says, you must become as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. You must strip away all those beliefs, because children have no beliefs when they come into this world. Strip away all those beliefs and come back to that core innocent child who looks at the world optimistically. Oh, what's this? What's going on? And strip away all of the negative, and then actively fill your mind with positive outcome. Fill your mind with a future that is bright and cheerful and surrounded by love. And that is how you positively and optimistically create. For the week of May 14th to May 20th, get 30% off the Kindle version of Signs Along the Path, A Guide to an Inspired Life by John Davis and Holly Matson, with the Amazon link provided in the description below.
Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.